Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Fulham versus Everton, 3 o'clock at Craven Cottage. Everton's penultimate away game of this season. And John will be there.
I will.
We'll be there.
Oh, you will as well? You like Fulham away, don't you?
We'll be that. That's probably the away game I've been to the most in my life, Fulham.
Yeah.
20 times, whatever it is, 15 times, whatever. Fulham away, always a tough game for Everton. We haven't had much success there over the year. Every year I used to go, we should get beat every single year. I think we've won twice in about the last 10 visits or something.
Yeah.
Remember we beat them 2-0 the final game in 2009. We beat them 3-1 in 2014. We've won 3 because we won 3-2 with Carlo, didn't we? But no fans with it. But this will be a tough game, John, because these Fulham had a really sort of strong start.
They did.
Then he tailed off a little bit. I've just been reading there, the last 15 games.
They win or lose.
They've won 7 and lost 8.
Yeah,
so
they
they're still getting sort of 3 points. But it's not, you know, they have lost a few more games than Marco Silva would have liked. So going there, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it, at the weekend? Yeah,
they're a good side. But we can do them.
Okay. I'm with you.
Well, we're going to win or we're going to lose, aren't we?
Cue a draw. Everyone get money on a draw.
Just based on their outcomes.
Yeah.
And, you know, we haven't, what was it, 1 win in 10, did you say?
In London, 1 win in the last 10 in London.
Yeah.
But that was at Crystal Palace in February.
Yeah. And 1 win in 10 in any.
Overall, 6 draws.
So we're due a win.
3 defeats. We are due. Well, I mean, that should have been corrected last Saturday, shouldn't it?
Certainly should, yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you thinking going into it? Because it's a tough game, but Fulham, like we've just said there, they win or lose. It's
a winnable game, isn't it? And, you know, for my modest prediction of 7 points from our remaining games, we're already -3 on that. So they have to correct it with a win. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll have to get a draw at Newcastle. It's 7. We beat Southampton, of course.
If we beat Southampton and beat Fulham,
that would be 6.
Then we'd have, and we got a point last week, so that would have been 7 from the 12.
I know, it was only the last.
Oh, the last 3.
The last 4.
Yeah, so you'd be right on track.
Starting from Ipswich.
Was a point. If we beat Fulham.
Oh, of course, sorry, brain dead.
Come on, John, you know what you were doing.
As a defeat.
No, I heard you say it like a defeat, yes, but it certainly wasn't a defeat. It felt like a defeat.
No, yeah, I've counted that as a defeat.
It felt like a defeat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there's the draw. We have to then. The draw I had, which was Fulham, now has to be a win. Yeah. And we're back on schedule then with Southampton,
Back on track. Fulham, it has been a tricky.
They had a really strong start.
Place. Yeah. Good side, Marco Silva. I love Marco.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alex Iwobi's going to be looking at his numbers. Yeah, he's had a really good season. They've got the threat of, albeit from the bench, of Adama Traore with that pace. You know, Emile Smith-Rowe, really good footballer. So they're a nice footballing team. Anthony Robinson, who's had a really good season, former Everton player as well, of course. So they are a good side, and they do play nice football. But with that, they do give you the opportunity to get results against them, as proven in the last 15 with 8 defeats.
They can be quite open on occasions. And I suppose they've got an outside chance of getting in Europe, I think. So it's not like there's nothing to play for.
No.
So could be an entertaining game. Often it's this time of year as well, isn't it? Fulham away, so it's sunny and you walk along the river and all that sort of stuff. But it's a nice venue as well. Just seems comfortable going there. Home and away fans mixing behind 1 goal is a bit weird.
That is a bit odd, yeah. That is a bit odd.
And there's never any issue, is there? But when you see some of the oppressive stuff that goes on in away games, and when you get to Fulham, they've got there's lots of them.
Yeah. And that end,
So let's see. I mean, we clearly need to be on it far more than we were the second half last game. So.
I mean, let's have a look at the Everton side from last week.
Yeah,
the 2-2 draw.
Let's do that.
With Ipswich at Goodison Park. If we look at that, if any, what changes do you think the manager will make? Do you think, not sure, I mean, Abdoulaye Doucouré wasn't available last week, so we're still waiting for the manager to confirm that he's available for this weekend. Do you think, when you look at the starting 11 last week, do you think that might be a change?
Yeah.
That the manager brings Abdoulaye Doucouré back into the side?
I think so, yeah.
Is there anywhere else?
I think he might start with Dom.
Do you think? Yeah, we saw him come on, he got 25 minutes last week, didn't he?
Might think I'll do it the other way around this time. I'll start with him and Beto will be the first change.
Off the bench.
But, you know, at 15 into the second half or something, you know, the old, alarm's gone off, you know, 60 minutes, let's make some changes.
Let's make the change.
But you wouldn't think much beyond that, would you? I think Patterson should have another crack, you know.
Yeah, I mean...
It's getting harder for him though, isn't it?
Tough game. We'll have to see, won't we? He'll be used to it now, won't he? He's played, you know, a couple of games now.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what he's up against this week. And obviously, he'll be up against the flyer and Anthony Robinson, who's created loads of chances for Fulham. Loads of assists. I think he might have 10 assists this season, Robinson, something like that. I think as well...
And if he does start Iwobi, he'll drift over there, won't he, as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But when you look at... If you're looking at Everton, and I suppose the only other thing... I think Dwight McNeil will start, because he obviously scored last week.
Yeah.
And Jai will start.
Yeah.
So that means that then if Abdoulaye Doucouré does come back in, it'll probably be Alcaraz who drops out of it and will then be on the bench. But do you think he'll go with Idrissa Gana again, James Garner as the two again?
So.
Yeah. Because I actually think he could play Abdoulaye Doucouré with Idrissa further back. I know you Alcaraz ahead of it.
I think that would be bold. Yeah.
But I think
but it could work.
Carlo used it really well.
Yeah.
Doucouré's really good at going and nicking the ball and putting bits out, and he's obviously physically can break things up, and then you would have obviously Alcaraz a little bit in front of him because he works in that midfield as well. But I think he probably will remain with Garner and...
I think so, but in recent games we've been abdicating, no pun there, centre midfield, haven't we? In the opposition have had loads of space, let's call it the centre circle type space. And he may think that's because I've not got enough physicality in there, so I might very well put Doucouré in there.
Yeah, interesting.
Because I'm not personally convinced by Garner. So.
Okay, let's have a do you mean James?
James, yeah.
Let's have a look at Fulham, the Fulham lineup.
I go with Gana, so that I can't get
Gana, fair play. It's a good show. It's a good show. So they're obviously the 4-2-3-1. They have Iwobi as sort of one, you know, off the left hand side, which is yours sometimes. But him and Session, you know, Session's come back really strong after the terrible injury.
Yeah.
He's done well, and then you have, you know, I know they've used Harry Wilson, you've got Jimenez there. So we know they're a good side. Anthony Robinson's a real threat, but the player that we have picked out is obviously our former player in Alex Iwobi, who's having his best ever goal scoring season. 35 games, played every Premier League game.
It's a big gap from XG, isn't it?
It is, but, you know, there you go. 9 goals for Alex this season from an XG of 4.14. He's created 12 chances.
Overachieving there as well.
And an XA of 6.75. We know that Alex Iwobi is a talented footballer. You know, he had a little bit of an up and down time at Everton.
Sure.
But he's a threat, isn't he? He's been excellent for Fulham this season.
And you look at those numbers, and the heat map was there as well. It was all down the left, really. So real challenge for Nathan and for Jake as well, because it'd be his side.
Coming down that side. Yeah. And do you think, obviously last week he had Dwight McNeil out there. It's going to be interesting that McNeil, is he going to be asked to do that defensive work in front of Patterson, or is it
Harrison?
Is there a chance of Jack Hart? I think it'll be Dwight. I think so. Because I remember Dwight McNeil working really hard away at Leeds with Patterson behind him a few years when Lampard was the manager, actually, and he was really put the effort in front, and you've got to have that, haven't you, that work rate, especially because Iwobi drifts inside.
He does.
And they get Robinson, who's a pace merchant, on the outside. It causes issues, and the manager's really going to have to piece this together.
That handoff from Patterson to O'Brien in those situations is going to be key. And both of them can be found a bit absent in their global awareness situation.
Well, I suppose for Jake O'Brien, he's getting used to... He's a centre-back, but went out and did really well at right-back. Yeah. And there's now had to adjust again of moving back inside.
Yeah, he hasn't got the protection of the touchline.
And he hasn't got the touchline protection. He also hasn't got the experience of Tarkowski.
No, that's right. This side to his left, yeah.
So and then obviously Patterson's playing games for the first time. You know, back-to-back games in the Premier League for the first time in 18 months or something
crazy,
like that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And, you know, we expect him to play in this one unless he goes early and puts, I don't know, Ashley Young experience or something, I don't know. But
his
I imagine
recovery runs are going to have to be on it as well.
So it's going to be a test.
Because Robinson will scorch away
He'll test you. Oh God, Robinson will test you. All right, there's no issues with that. Like you said, really to start, it's a game Everton can win. It's a tough game. Don't get me wrong, but you know, whereas last week we got lulled into that. This is easy, 2-0 up against Ipswich. And you find that in the Premier League, once you take your foot off the gas, it isn't always hard. It's not always easy to just reapply it, is it? And get grip of it. We never really got a grip of the game once they scored. It was we couldn't shake them off. I think the manager said, and he was right. We couldn't get that distance between us. Whereas this, if we're not on it, these will put us to bed quite comfortably, won't they? So we're gonna have to be on it. We want to, you know, the manager will be stressing. Get at least a point to hit that 40, but he'll, you know, 3 puts you into that 42 and sets it up for Southampton. But it'll be a tough game, and
it will.
Ground that we haven't done brilliantly at, but it is. I do look at it and think, because of their win-lose attitude, I actually think it might suit
quite
Everton.
An open game as well.
And I think if we had Tarky, I'd be a bit more confident, just because we just felt more solid as a unit.
We do.
But listen. They
brings leadership as well, not just his own performance.
That's it. And he will have gone over everything.
Is this your first away this season?
Yeah.
We better win for you then, eh?
Why not? Yeah. Why not? They're unbeaten in the last 6 games against Everton, Fulham.
Yeah.
3 wins and 3 draws. Yeah. Having only avoided defeat 6 times in the previous 20 against us.
We haven't lost down there for a while.
I wasn't one I was going to use.
Lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Well, it wasn't one I was going to use.
Marco was the manager when the last time we lost.
And that was a game where we were actually finishing the season really strongly.
Yeah.
We went to already relegated Fulham. Scott Parker had just took over. It was in May, and we got beat 2-0, and we missed sitters, and it was just one of them games where Everton were just like, I would just turn up and win this, and Fulham were like, we're relegated, but with no pressure, now we're going to have a go.
You can never do that in this league, really, can you?
No, ever. In fact, I think, probably wrong, but I feel like Harvey Elliott was sub for them that day, and he was only 16.
Really? Wow.
And obviously he's gone on to move to Liverpool, hasn't he? Yeah. Everton have drawn 15 games this season. The last team...
Most of anyone, isn't it?
...to draw more in a single campaign were Sunderland in 2014-15. 17,
didn't they?
17 games they drew. And the only other one in 94-95, 17 was Everton. So there you go.
Did Sunderland get relegated that season with all those draws?
I think so, yeah.
So this is the most that any team that hasn't been relegated has had.
So we've got our work to do. But it's things like that when you look at it, and Everton can, you know, being strong, can get results. It's trying to turn those draws into wins. And Beto and Njai are Everton's top scorers in the Premier League with 7 goals each. Only Southampton have a lower top scorer in their team.
Wow. And it's not like we spread them around, is it?
And that in a nutshell tells you where we are. I mean, Raul Jimenez has got 10. Iwobi's got 9.
Was he their top scorer, Jimenez?
With 10, yeah. So there's you see it, don't you? We all know, every Evertonian who watches this, and every Evertonian in general knows Everton's big issue is goals, isn't it? And
spent an hour and a half talking about.
We have on a different show, so let's go to Fulham in the sun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a massive win, big win
for Baz.
Come on, big win. Just win the game, and then 42 points, beat Southampton at home.
Job done.
And then flip-flops for Newcastle. Yeah. Go there and draw with Newcastle.
Party time up in that top balcony at their ground. Not fussed about what's happening down there. I'm cool with that.
Be interesting. Now, listen, it's a big game, tough game, Fulham, good side, but we won at Forest and they were third that day, and we're flying, so we
finish the season with 3 wins.
Do it again. Why not? There you go. Let us know.
Your brain wouldn't let that compute, would it?
Yeah. Trying to stay realistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think this game will be. Like, be a tough game, and obviously with the season coming to a close, it is hard for the players have got to stay right on it. We fell a bit below that last week. Let's hope we can get back up to the levels and get a massive win at the weekend. And say a massive win, a big win, just because we need to start winning games of football again. See what it's like. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Take care.